And hello fellow Techers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today we are back in the T22 medium tier 10 Russian medium tank, and today I will show you my optimized build for this tank. And this build is much better than the one I showed you in my last video. So please disregard my last video unless you really like that setup, then sure, go ahead and play with it. But I think this one is even better. So we'll go over the tank build and then we will show you some angling or micro positioning of this tank in order to get the best effect out of this tank. And then we're gonna jump into the game and we'll show you how we utilize it in the game. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at my commander skills on this tank. As you can see, I'm running 6th Sense, Born Leader, and Rapid Loading, which is common on all of my tanks. Then we got Situational Awareness to extend the view range. We got Run and Gun, Movement to the Turret, and Snapshot. This is basically to help with accuracy. These are the only gun skills that I have. Then we have Camouflage. This helps with camo on big maps. I noticed Safe Stowage because this tank will get ammo racked every once in a while. It happened to me, guys, and I will show you a clip of that as well. And as last skill, we're running Repairs. Why? Because we're going to brawl in this tank on city maps, so we want to make sure that we repair the track quite quickly, especially people targeting the back of your track. If you do a 45-degree angling, that's what's going to happen. They're going to aim at your track, so you got to be able to repair quite quickly. Another skill you can consider is Track Mechanic, but then you're gonna have to get rid of Safe Stowage, so I don't know if that's a good idea. Anyway, let's look at my equipment. So I'm carrying optics because that will extend my view range to over 460 meters with pretty nice camo. On big maps it will work. Then we have Advanced Loader and Gun Stabilizer, which you need to help with the gun accuracy and aim time. So looking at our gun accuracy, we're still at 0.3, which is really good for this gun. And this should be good at close range, but yet still not too bad at long range as well. So I think this setup works well. Now we're gonna jump into some clips to show you the angling or micro positioning of this tank and how it should be played. Okay, let's jump into some gameplay and show you some angling here in this replay. And there is no better map than Himmelsdorf when it comes to that kind of stuff. So we'll show you this game, although unfortunately it's in third person because my video card got corrupted and or capture card got corrupted and I couldn't really record in first person. So apologies for that, but it doesn't matter. This is going to be about angling anyway, so that's what we're going to try to show you. As you can see, I came to this location here because it's perfect and I can angle 45 degrees in this tank, and that's exactly how it should be played. Now, the main point of this tank being angled this way is that so you can hide your front drive wheel. If you can hide your front drive wheel, then you will not get penned through your front drive wheel. Also, you minimize the front plate area that can actually be hit. As you can see, there's very little of the front plate visible, but you are showing this portion of the side armor that is really toughly armored, and you're baiting the enemy to shoot in this side armor. So obviously the strengths of this tank are the side armor as well as the turret armor, right? So you want the opposition to be shooting there. Also, the tracks are pretty strong. As you can see, in many cases the tank will be tracked, but it will not be damaged, and that's what you want to do. Now, one thing I did notice is that the opposition will shoot you in between the tracks and the side armor, and that's the location of the ammo rack. So basically, it's kind of stupid because, you know, showing the side will expose the ammo rack, although this is your toughest part of the armor. So that's the stupid part. Now, anyone shooting heat or HE probably won't be able to shoot you through the track underneath the side skirt into where the ammo rack is. However, people shooting APCR, especially if they're lower to where you are, they might be able to shoot you through it, and they will pen. Now, the slight flat portion of the side armor or the side skirt is also penetratable. So even though it's a very small target, the opposition can still hit you there and penetrate you in that. And we should see that happening at some point here, because I think the heavy tank that I was facing actually hit me in that top portion right there, that top portion of the side skirt. As you can see over there, you can be penetrated there. So that's the way to play this tank, especially in city maps. You bait the opposition to shoot your side armor, and hopefully they will not be shooting you in between the track and the side skirt, or they will be tall enough so that when they try to shoot you in between the side skirt and the track, they will not be able to go through it. But that's the way to play it. As you can see, I'm getting tracked all the time. The side armor works. Whoever is shooting me is not shooting me in a top plate, because that's what they should be doing. If I'm pulling back to shoot, they should be trying to put those shells underneath my turret right into the top plate. But instead, they're trying to shoot me in a track wheel. So they are tracking me, but they're not causing any damage, right? And that's the advantage of this tank. Players will think that they can pen you through the drive wheel, but that's not going to happen. That's why repair kit is so critical in this situation. Anyway, so let's go back to actual view, and here you can see how I'm playing this tank from a regular view, although you're not gonna be seeing where I'm aiming anyway. But look at this positioning. 45-degree angle. I'm trying to hide my front drive wheel over here. Quick movements back and forth so that you can avoid those shells if you have to. Obviously, in this situation, I have loaded heat rounds because I'm facing E100 as well as the Maushen. So I want to be able to pin these tanks. And we're just going to do step and repeat. So as you can see on this map, I didn't even go hill. There's no point going hill. On city maps, this tank is a nice brawler. You can brawl in those situations. Obviously, if the players know where to pen you, they will still pen you, right? But at least all you can do is maximize the armor of this tank in any given situation. And in this situation, you can side scrape and play it almost like a heavy tank, to be honest. So one thing I do like about this tank is the flexibility. It gives you flexibility to play in the city, side scrape, and fight or brawl with heavy tanks. Also, it gives you flexibility to play on the big maps, because this tank has pretty good camo, it has pretty good view range, and if you optimize that view range to over 460 meters, there's nothing that can really outspot you, to be honest. So from that perspective, when you think about it, this tank is quite nice all around there, right? Because you can fight in the city, and also you can fight on the open maps or big maps, which makes it extremely flexible. I mean, it is still not Object 430 or T22A. Because of the rate of fire, this tank is not going to be the same ever. And Object 907, another premium tank at tier 10, can do exact same things as this tank, except it can do them better. So why even own this tank, right? I don't know. You might want to ask yourself that question. Anyway, in this game, our team is going to collapse. I don't know. We lost the castle area, and then our heavy tanks died in the alley here on the Banana Road. I still have lots of HP, and I'm the only one that survived here. But, you know, we won't be able to win this game. Actually, to be honest, I think I got about... It was about 5.2k damage in this game. After I made those changes in my commander skills and in my equipment, all of a sudden my damage numbers start raising. Not only in the city, I could get more damage because I could angle more effectively and I could hide more effectively, but also on open maps I got a lot more assisted damage or spotting damage because all of a sudden I optimize my view range, right? So if you do it this way, I think this is the optimal way to set up this tank, because it gives you this balance on every type of a map that you have in a game. I know we don't have a lot of maps right now in the game, but once we get a lot more maps, especially bigger maps, I think that's the way you optimize this tank to the best of its abilities. So as you can see, I'm just trying to get extra damage here at the end of the game. I realized that we lost the hill and I was gonna roll in front of these guys here. I knew that there was a Super Conqueror coming this way here, and I wanted to test my armor, but as you can see, like, if you come up to any tank using your front armor, you're just gonna die. Like, you have no armor. Everyone's gonna pen you right through the front plate, right through the bottom plate, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing you can bounce unless they are stupid and they're firing shells into your turret, right? So, yeah. As you can see, I didn't survive at all. Like, that was quick right there. 1, 2, 3, I was dead. But anyway, let's jump into the featured game for today and see how we do here in this tank. And here, we're gonna brawl a lot. So you're gonna see exactly how I'm positioning this tank again. And this time, we actually are in a first person. So you're gonna actually see where I'm aiming with this tank. And you'll see how good this gun behaves, trying to shoot at the opponent's weak spots, so on and so forth. So we are on Abbey. Obviously we're top tier, but there's no RD in place, so this is fantastic. And we're gonna scoot down 1-2 lane. We're gonna try to get ourselves into the position D1 and side scrape off of the rock there. Well, first of all, I wanted to test if I can poke over that dead tank that's sitting there and put some early shots of damage into the opposition, because I didn't know what the height of my tank was. I know this tank is pretty low to the ground, but I didn't know whether I was going to be able to see over the turret. I cannot, so I'm going to have to scoot forward a little bit. Now, this map has changed a little bit. These shots are limited now than what they used to be, but we still see a shot at this Valor, so we put it in. And I see our TD, is it? He wants this position, so I'm like, okay, dude, you take that position. I'm going to move a little bit forward here, and I can side scrape off of this rock right here. So we're going to set up with a 45-degree angle, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We see a narrow shot at the cupola of the chieftain there. First shot doesn't go in. Second shot, we managed to put it in. And now we're going to try to... Yeah, we're still going to try to look for shots at the chieftain. We can't find anything there, but we see the button. So we should be able to put the shell into his cupola. And we do. With this accuracy, even though it's 0.3... I mean, 0.3, it's still pretty good accuracy, right? So we should be able to be hitting weak spots easily. Anyway, we're looking for shots over here. Nothing is coming. So, yeah, we're going to just keep on side scraping and waiting for these guys to push down the bottom. As you can see, our team pushed up the top already. And because there's no RD, yeah, that's a good spot to be in on the top as well to be fighting. But I just want to hold the bottom here. Unfortunately, that shot on the button missed. I thought he was going to move forward. He moved backwards, unfortunately, but we're going to keep on looking at him. And when he shows up again, we should be able to put the shell into him. Now we see the chieftain. Unfortunately, that shell misses. It goes outside the circle, and I see this still happening quite a lot. Shots on this tank go outside the circle, and then everyone wants my spot all of a sudden. Love these guys, don't we? Anyway, we tried to put a shell into this button in the cupola, but he moved back and we weren't able to hit him. Now, can we hit him now? We're going to anticipate him moving back. Yes, we take him out of the game. So he's gone. One tank less in the game. I still don't want to push. I know our friendlies are engaging on top over there at F2 or E2. But I'm going to wait because these guys are willing to push, I think. So I was still waiting here and waiting for them to poke out and move up, but I got no shots. I'm gonna have to be patient here, keep on re-angling, moving a little bit forward, re-angling again. I see this Valor, but I don't really have a shot at him. Now normally on a chieftain you would have that 10 shot on top of his side skirt right below the turret right there, but looks like on a Valor it doesn't work. So we're gonna have to try to aim the shell at his cupola, even though it's so small. Yeah, I don't see a shot anywhere over there on him, so we're not going to fire. We're going to try to hit that cupola. Very narrow shot. Can't really hit it. And then the Panzer 7 is coming out. And he's a scary tank. We put a shell into his bottom plate, but I think that bounces with heat, which is quite strange. But RNG is in play again. Going to wait for him again. This time we put the shell in, but we low roll. That's crazy. 256. Can we put this shell in? Yes, it goes in. And we're gonna keep on doing the same thing. Now the opposition is not shooting at me because I think they're shooting at the heavy tank that's behind me, which is too bad because I wouldn't mind testing this armor. But now they're getting surrounded, so we're going to move up and we should be able to finish them up. So we're going to approach this Panzer 7. We're going to put a shell into his turret because we're shooting heat, so I don't want to be shooting into his tracks. And I don't know why he's turning around to face me, because he's got like 2 tanks in front of him and he's going to be taken out just like that. So now we're going to focus the Valor. We put a shell into him and he gets taken out. Now we're being flanked already from the other side at B1, B2. So I'm going to turn around and try to go and help these guys. I noticed there's a medium tank on top at E3. I was thinking to go after him, but then I'm like, he's, you know, relatively low health, so I'll just go after this guy here because I think he had a lot more health to spare. So I wanted to go in here and track him on the move. He's tracked already. I didn't realize that, but that's what I wanted to do. And here we're just gonna ram him to death, and that's exactly what we do. Now the guy on top is still alive. He tried to put a shell into me right there, but he missed. Hit the dead wreck, yet we squeezed the shot in somehow into his track wheel right there, or just, you know, just below his side skirt. So we're gonna try to climb up over here. I was thinking we could actually get up on this new map layout right now. I thought maybe I would be able to get up here. Before in the past there was like a hard cliff over here, so I couldn't get up. There's no way, or get down. But anyway, we see this guy coming from this side, so we take him out of the game right there. And now we're going to turn around and we're going to try to go and engage the guys that are in the cap. As you can see, the game is relatively close. Our E100 is still looking this way, but there's no one left here. So I say affirmative, and that's going to bite me big time, because later on, you know, if there is a bug, there is a bug with the repair kits or with the consumables that once you use the command wheel, you will not be able to use your repair kit or your med kit sometimes, and that's what's going to happen to me later on in the game. Anyway, we're going to scoot up here to try to reset the base, because it looks like the opposition team is capping. Yet at the same time, I see those shots at the Foch. I think that's the Foch. Yeah, it is the Foch. So we put 1 shell into him, and then we're going to aim up at his cupola, but he gets taken out before I can hit him. So we're going to try to come up here now and reset, but we're spotted, so I don't want to just poke out and be fired upon. And here is the problem with this tank. The problem with this tank is gun depression. You're going to try to come up to hit anything, and you're going to lose your gun depression because you only have 5 degrees. But then when it comes to camo, look at that. It's fantastic. You sit in bushes and the opposition won't be able to see you. So I was unspotted until I fired, right? Which was cool. So we're going to try to lose our 6th sense over here, and we're going to come up again. Again, I'm not spotted behind the bushes. We're going to fire that shell, and I don't know where it goes. I think it actually went into the track of this guy right there, and I'm shooting heat. So here I was aiming at the turret, and again, that shell misses and hits front portion of his turret, and we're not able to penetrate it. But now we're going to aim at his ass. Thinking about it here, I should have probably tracked him. That way he would, you know, remain in the middle, and I would have gotten some assisted damage instead of going for damage itself. Narrow shot here, I can't really hit it. So now look at that, it's 2v2 all of a sudden. So we're gonna have to go forward, and we're gonna have to engage these guys with this E100. We cannot let him die, because if he dies, we're gonna be in trouble. And both of these guys are relatively full health. So this is gonna be a good example here. It's gonna be a nice encounter with Concept 1B, and you'll see what the rate of fire does in this situation. Now I could have played it safe. I could have been sitting behind the dead tank over there and poking out, but I decided to test the armor here and see what this guy can do to me. I was relatively full health, so I just wanted to angle and see what he does, but he is smart. He's hitting me in a front plate all the time. He tracks me here, and I cannot use my repair kit right there, as you can see, but I do have repair skill on this tank, as you probably noticed in my setup. So that repair skill kicks in, and we're able to hit him right there. And we're going to trade. We're pretty much going to trade. We want to just stay away from the Wheezy, because I don't want Wheezy to engage me at the same time. Wheezy is busy with our E100. So we still have better rate of fire. So we took this guy out of the game, and Wheezy hits us here. All of a sudden he comes out from this side, and he rams us again. Now we're going to put a shell into his side plate right there, and now we bounce the shot. That was a critical bounce because we showed them the sight of our tank, which is pretty strong. But now we're tracked again, so we can't do anything. And I was thinking I could probably pen him through his turret ring, but it wasn't meant to be. But our E100 takes him out of the game, and we complete this game with a victory. Quite a nice brawl. That was pretty sick. That was fun. That was real fun. But anyway, we ended up with a pretty nice game. We ended up with 5.1k damage. We had 29 direct hits, only 164 assisted, but 1497 base XP. We finished with Confederate Medal, Class 1 Mastery. Finished on top of the team with 1460 base XP, 3 kills. Very nice game for this tank. So yeah guys, I just wanted to show you this video so that you can optimize your tank to the best of its abilities, and I think with the setup that I have on it right now, I would strongly recommend it. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking. Space Bandit checking out.